What is up, guys? We're out here in Miami. First time here in Miami. Was recording a interview with Ben Bader. If you haven't, it should be out by now by the time I post this video. So if you have not checked it out, I'll actually leave it in the description. You can go check that out. I pretty much just walked through how I generate $600,000 in about 6 days using a challenge funnel. And this is the exact same challenge funnel strategy which Jeremy Haynes has taught and is kind of famous for somewhat. Pretty much pushing challenge funnels a lot, and challenge funnels have been performing really well this year. Iman does them a lot as well. He calls revenue generating events, but what it really does is it kind of liquidates all that pent up demand. Challenge is not something you can run every single, it's not a VSL funnel, it's not a webinar. You can run them every so often. It's pretty much like more like a quarterly thing, but they generate money. So in this video, I'm pretty much going to cover the exact same strategy that I use inside of my own business, and feel free to literally copy everything I did and implement to your business, and I hope to see your guys' success. So let's just jump straight into it. And just to show you that we actually did $600,000, I'm actually gonna pull up the metrics over here so you know I'm not bullshitting, because I know a lot of people like to bullshit that shit. But yeah, you can see all the data we have over here. So we had 4,136 registrants, about 1,200 show up on the first day, 1,000 on the second day, but 200 dropped off by when we got to the pitch. And then it's a 3-day webinar pretty much. And then the third day was kind of like more like 605 attendees. But we did $471,000 cash collected and $622,000 in total revenue. So now you know this shit's real. Let's jump straight into it. So what is a challenge funnel? It's pretty much a 3-day webinar or a 5-day webinar, but it promises an end outcome. And that's really the main point of a challenge, is to deliver on an end outcome. It can either be free or paid. In our case, we did free to organic audience, but it really depends. You kind of want to assess your ICP and see, do they have money, what the demographic is like, are they older, are they younger, are they more likely, do they have more resistance to what you would kind of like show, how skeptical they are. So you kind of want to do some understanding of your ICP and then kind of decide if you want to run free or paid. But we did free for organic, but the next time we are going to do paid. But it works as like it's really good for ad liquidation too. So we did free. We weren't running any ads, but we weren't really focused on being profitable in the front end. So we just had one OTO, VIP OTO, and we did around $30,000 with no promotion to that OTO. The event was free to attend. It was just the next page if they wanted to purchase the VIP ticket, which was a 1-hour private session before the general session, and it did pretty good. So yeah. Some of the benefits of challenge funnels and what makes it unique from other funnels, I say, is it builds trust really fast, and it shrinks a whole sales cycle. So a sales cycle could, take up to 2 to 3 months for someone to buy a high ticket offer. You got to do a lot of touch points, send a bunch of emails, get them familiar with you, and help build that trust. And then that's kind of where webinars might be good, or VSL funnels might be good. You don't need to nurture them that much. It shrinks that whole trust cycle into just like 3 to 5 days, and they're ready to purchase your offer, because like a 3 to 5 day intensive. Of course, you do need to nurture them before the event. Send emails, try and break as many beliefs as possible, because that's what we did and what really worked for us. You want to try and nurture them as much as possible, because the more you can nurture them, the more it'll be a layup when it comes to sales and actually them being interested in what you offer. But that's really what it's good for. It builds trust fast and shrinks a whole sales cycle. Whereas, with a VSL funnel or a webinar, webinars do build trust, but it's like 1 to 2 hours, kind of like an in and out. I guess higher ticket offers. Webinars alone won't cut it. You might need to pair up sales teams. I actually didn't write it over here, but since you built so much demand in 3 to 5 days, we did not run any sales teams. So it was 100% organic, no closers, no setters. I closed all of those $622,000 deals by myself, and I'm not even a closer, like a sales closer, right? I do know, of course, sales. You do need to know a little bit of sales, but we just chopped off like the whole sales process from expectations to discovery. We just cut that out. And we just went straight into pitch, answering questions, and then sorting out payment plans. That's it. So yeah, I guess the drawbacks is that it's not fast setup, nor is it easy. It's very time intensive, not only for us as marketing agencies, but it's also very time heavy for our client, who is going to be presenting on all 3 days. So it's pretty overwhelming, it's pretty exhausting, but it does pay off dividends. We took a risk running this as our first event. Compared to a VSL or webinar, those are much easier to spin up. This event took us about 2 months to prepare and launch, and you can run them all the time. It's not evergreen. So that's pretty much what we did. We did a free challenge funnel. So how do you actually launch a challenge funnel now, right? So what I have on my screen right now is kind of just a basic outline of what you kind of need to think of before actually promoting it. And so first thing you need is like a good challenge name, because it's an event, it's an experience you're kind of promoting, right? So that's kind of what sells it. Since it's live, it's raw, it's organic, and there's less room for error, and people actually believe you because they're there with you. There's like, you can't mess up. They're gonna hear you stumble, and that's the best part of challenges as well, right? So it's raw for 3 days and it's live, right? So this is what we had. This is our outline of what we did. The challenge name was called the Passive Crypto Cash Flow Challenge, and what we were selling was like one-to-one crypto mentorship offer, which was a 5-month program. So we tailored the challenge around passive crypto to kind of teach people how to make money passively with crypto, which was pretty much just providing liquidity and things like that, right? The launch date, of course, you need to have launch date in mind. If you're running paid ads, you would probably want 2 to 3 weeks to run paid ads before the event actually starts. But if you're doing it free, we just did a 10-day push, so we wouldn't lose demand and we would maintain the hype, because if it's too far out, people would just not be interested. We sold VIP tickets, so we had $147 for regular people who are not inside the lower ticket community, because my clients were doing 100K per month with a low ticket community on school.com. So we offered those guys a promo code, which got them at a $47 ticket, and then a VIP session was $147 for, you know, people who, so it wasn't 147, it was 149. My bad, I can't type. 149. And we held them at, you need to have a time as well. I don't know why I didn't write it explicitly, but we decided to host that at 7 p.m. EST and 8 p.m. EST. Reason being is that late is because our ICP was like the older audience. So that's the time where they would come home, unwind, and then actually have time to allocate toward the challenge. But honestly, if I were going back, I would probably do these 1 hour earlier. Reason being is because people, they wanted to go sleep, right? They got work in the morning, so that's something I didn't actually account for, because the events did run longer than 1 hour. It went up to like, 2 hours. Yeah. Launch dates, how much you're going to charge for your VIP sessions and how much you're going to charge for your general sessions. So for your VIP sessions, you can't just put whatever price tag. You kind of need to understand more about your offer. Like, if you're selling an offer which gives an ROI, then you can charge higher on the VIP and you can charge higher on a general ticket if you're doing a paid event. But if you're selling something like dating, for example, that's not something that's going to give them an ROI. So you would probably have to stick to like a lower ticket when it comes to pricing your paid challenge or your VIP session. So take that into account. It's only if you're inside the wealth niche, then price higher. Next, you need to outline is what you are going to teach. What is the challenge going to be about? And it needs to be something specific. What you want to do with this is like, since we were teaching crypto, you want to take a small problem of what your high ticket offer solves and teach that. So what we did was passive crypto. We could have done technical analysis. We could have done anything, but it needs to be specific, and it needs to be a small problem that you can teach in full across 3 days. We taught how to build a passive, recurring, and secure income stream from your crypto without gambling or getting scammed. So without gambling or getting scammed, because those are the common factors that comes into account when people are trying to make passive income or just crypto in general. So once you understand what you're going to teach, you need to outline what is the end outcome that your attendees will get by the end of the challenge. This not only works for you as to reverse engineer the copywriting of the actual presentation itself for the 3 days, but it also helps the attendees get something out of your event to where they feel like they got value and they say, oh, okay, now I think, these guys actually taught me so much. I kind of want to buy the higher ticket program and kind of see what's up. So you need to give them like an end outcome. Next thing, of course, you need to outline is what will you be selling at the event, right? So in our case, we were selling the 5-month one-to-one program, which is a $14,800 offer. And it's kind of crazy. We did it with no closures and no setters. We sold a $14,800 offer. Usually you would need a setter, especially at this high price point, right? So yeah, we managed to pull that off. But this would work even better if it's even a lower ticket, because you build so much trust. And if your ticket is like around 5K or less, you could literally do direct to checkout. You don't even need to do any application or whatever. If I were you, I would just frame it as, hey, our payment links only takes 50 transactions. So go ahead, try your luck. Direct to checkout, 5K offer, 50 people, and it closes. And you can steal that. That would really perform. So water. Yeah. So the next thing what we did was having a refundable deposit fee. So when you're selling a ticket over $5,000 and then you want to do an application, that's what we did, and it worked so well. So we pretty much told them 30 spots only. We were super, super adamant on telling them that we're not taking any more people other than more than 30. And we really stressed that throughout the event. And we said, hey, put down $1,000 deposit, and then you'll be able to speak to the team, answer your questions. We told them we have good financing options available as well. But that's pretty much how the process goes. So they put down $1,000 deposit, which is 100% refundable. So if they don't get selected, it will go back to them. I'll be honest, I did not vet one of their applications. I approved all of them, and I'll just call them up and be like, hey, congratulations. The team thinks you'd be a great fit to work with. You know, they think you'll be easily coachable, and they think that you'd be a great fit for the team. And they'll actually be so grateful, because when they put down $1,000 deposit, they're kind of like on it. And it's something that keeps them up at night, low key, because they're putting $1,000 deposits. We only got 30 spots. And we also do real scarcity. So we close applications completely 8 days out. So Sunday was the event. Monday we pitched. Tuesday we pitched again. And then from Tuesday to Sunday night, we have open spots, and then we completely close it out, and 30 spots only, you're either in or not. So that worked out really well, application. We also had some urgency, scarcity, etc. But yeah, that's what we did. So they put down a refundable deposit, and then I would pretty much get like a Slack notification with their phone number, and then I text them pretty much, and I call them up as well. So that's what we did. We also had this outlined for our clients, so our client can pretty much have like a good overview. So this is pretty much everything what we did. You can pause the video, go through it. We actually did not have a financing offer, and this was $14,800. It was originally going to be $12,000, but we changed it to $14,800 because we wanted to sell at a higher ticket. But that's what we did. Main topic, day one general, day one VIP, and we kind of outline like subtopics, and that's kind of what we built the presentation around. And then we had like an organic promo calendar. Pause that, screenshot it if you want to use that for your own challenge. That's basically the outline as part of the daily outline of what we do. Day one, we just give value and we nurture them. Give as much value as you can, tell them about the basics, teach them. And throughout all 3 days, you also want to make sure that you're breaking beliefs, like common misconceptions that they probably have about passive crypto, and then kind of reframing them and then teaching them, right? So 1 hour VIP session before general session. So that's what we did on day one. And then, like I said, from day 2 to day 8, we just kind of give value, we pitch, and we drive traffic to the deposit page where they put down a $1,000 deposit. So that's as part of the event. Now, before the event, while you're preparing, this is what we did. We pretty much launched Instagram stories, email list, Telegram, YouTube, school. I made sure to CTA and build up engagement and excitement on all various platforms of theirs. Do we have X? We did X as well. I'm not sure why that's not there. I would probably add that. Okay, so we did Instagram, email list, Telegram, YouTube, Facebook, and school. So school was their paid community, and these were the hottest leads. So we actually did not do any of this. We didn't bother to spend time on these because there's always posts going on. They're always jumping on calls and stuff, and these were like our warmest leads. So we didn't promote anything on school. We just did a CTA straight to the event. Hey, we're doing this challenge. If you want to come, you get this discount. That's all we did. Okay. Now, this is what our Telegram posts kind of look like. Feel free to read it. This is what our emails kind of look like. Again, just breaking belief. Instagram stories, this is how we organized it and what we did to nurture. And then this was our YouTube post on how we kind of got them excited and engaged, right? So this is what we did. We broke beliefs. We built engagement to get people excited about something. So excitement and hype. And then we did a CTA to event. So that's what we did before the event while we were preparing for about 3 to 5 weeks. During the event, we of course sent reminder emails, reminder messages, and we also created workbooks, which I'll show you in a second, but I guess I'll just quickly pull up the reminder emails and messages. So every single day, we already have it organized. I'm not going to open every single one of these, but 72 hours before, 24 hours before, 3 hours before, 15 minutes before, 13 hours after, kind of like what you missed and replay. Reason is 13 hours was because it was a night event. So we sent the what you missed by the time they wake up before the office in case they just slept early. We had 2 separate lists for ES standard and the VIP list, and we had it for all day. And then this is kind of what the workbooks we created looked like. So day one workbook before we begin, just like something about the event and kind of also just shifting beliefs. This is what we also do because some of the older folks, the workbooks are not super necessary. Not a lot of people use them, but it comes down to your ICP. It's always nice to have and a good value add for them to show up to give them more of that experience. But what we're doing in the workbooks as well is also shifting their belief, right? So if I just go through this, look, we send the workbooks after the event, and then we pretty much just say what percentage so it's always referencing what we covered in the first event. So in this specific event day, so we have workbooks for each day of the event. So we were like, what percentage of your portfolio is currently earning yield right now? A lot of them is this to bring a realization to them that they're not actually earning passive income. What's the cost of doing nothing? So potential monthly yield times portfolio value equals your missed outcome. So they would kind of do this calculations. What emotions hit you most during today's session? What finally clicked that hadn't before? So it's a lot of like shifting beliefs that we did, and they all contribute. And then what we did on day 2 and day 3 workbooks was we also CTA'd to the deposit page. Now after the event, all the copy that we sent after was just scarcity, urgency, exclusivity. I always have trouble saying that word. Exclusivity, and FOMO. So that's what we did a lot of. You can have a read through and see how our copy kind of looked like. So I'll just read it through for you. Like, hey, yeah, most investors never make it past survival mode. They either hold and hope or they gamble and pray. But the guys who win, who scale past 6 and 7 figures, and also having 2 CTAs in your email so you can see this is hyperlinked as well, that works really well as well. So PS, everyone that puts down deposit here before Sunday locks our legacy price at $5,200 less and gets extra 30 days of access to our whole C-suite, including me and Ryan, so the person who's running the YouTube channel. And then this is also where our Telegram posts look like. People are already inside, they paid, they're onboarding this week, they start building systems with us. So we had this whole thing fully automated, and we were sending about like 1 email per day. And then once we actually got closer to the event, we were sending numerous per day. So this is what everything that we kind of instill into our copy. Is everything we instill into our copy. And from our copy, we're sent to the offer funnel. The offer funnel, we capture the lead from the lead form, and then they put down a deposit, and then they fill out another form, and then we pretty much go and talk to them, right? So this is pretty much the strategy we use. And yeah, I just hope you guys found this valuable. Let me know what questions you got in the comments. And I just gave you the whole raw thing. Now, everything that we did, I am opening up a licensing program. It's not ready yet. There's a wait list. Fill out the form if you want to be on the wait list, but I don't really have anything to sell you guys. This is value for you. So I guess my only ask would just be subscribe and look out for the next video that I'll do, which will probably be breaking down the whole funnel. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Take care.